Hello and welcome to day 24 of the 40-day fast. Today's day 24 of the 40-day fast. It's Wednesday, January 25th, 2012. So 16 more days to go for the 40 days. And so far, now I think a lot of toxins are on my body, so I'm feeling more strength and more energy. I need to just sleep about 5.5 hours again, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go face the day. I'm ready to go walking in the morning. And so it happened today. But it's wonderful. I weigh myself today, 143 pounds. That's from where I started on January 2nd. That was 155. So far, 12 pounds in 24 days of the fast. It's been like a half a pound a day going away. And just been keeping an hour and a half walking. By the way, my size now, size 28. I used to be, believe it or not, the biggest when I weighed 358 pounds. 56 waist. 56. And now 28, half of that. Imagine that. To the glory of God. I was never expected to go this low. I cannot go back in time and say, this was my teenage years weight. I guess this is how I should look when I was a teenager. If I would have ate right my whole life, but my whole life I've been chubby. So I never recall a day in my life that I was a normal weight category. I was always overweight or obese, but never a normal weight as far as I care to remember. So when God has brought me to this is something that I was never able to see in my teenage years or in my 20s or in my 30s. A body that's fit and trim and is ready to go walking and even running. I used to get tired running really fast, but now I can run, keep my stamina for a long time. I can walk even faster. Almost cut my walking time in half. And so it's wonderful, Thanks be to God for all that. And so it's encouraging. We'll take a little time to talk about, the benefits of getting into fasting. It's very encouraging to fast because it's the fastest and cheapest way to detoxify your body. The moment you give your body some rest, the DNA start working right away to tell it to get rid of all the junk. And so if you're a person that hasn't fasted, that is your first time fasting, or you're a little overweight, you're going to begin to feel sick and weak. But it's the weakness, it's not because you're starving. It's because the toxins in your body, the toxins are coming out. And they're going to rush through your bloodstream, and they're going to make you feel weird. They're going to make you feel weird, have side effects, and you're going to feel like, like you don't have the strength that you had before, but it's just going to be for little spasms at the time. It's not going to be for a long time, So that is if you decide to go on a long diet, on a long fast. But, if you just do it for a couple of days to begin, just to start getting adjusted to the idea. So giving the body a couple of days of rest a week is a good way to start. Or some people start by just having no breakfast, Because remember, sleeping at night is a fast. You're not eating. You're abstaining from food. That's a fast. And then in the morning when you wake up, you break the fast. That's what's called breakfast. You're breaking the fast. So if you eliminate breakfast and just a nice lunch, like around between 1 and 3, that's already beginning to train your body to fast a little longer. And then have a good lunch, so that then you just have a little fruit at the end for dinner, or something light for dinner. Don't go to sleep. That way you start training yourself. So little by little, you start getting into the process of accustoming your body to being cleansed. It's a great way of cleansing your body. So fasting is, something that, once you also begin to fast, you get this sense of freedom. You begin to see that the body, when it doesn't have any toxins, it sustains energy, and And you think, how can I do this without food? You know, because we have been programmed to think that it's the food that gives the life to the body. The food is only the building material. The life passes through us, people. Life passes through our bodies. Life, life comes from God because He is life. So as He passes through us, we experience that. But we want to attribute to food that the food just brings the building material that the body needs. To like the skin. You can build the skin, you can build the parts, but it doesn't give the spark of life to keep us going, to give us the energy of life. I'm not the first one to say this. I read it from other people, but it's like when you have a house. For a house you need building materials. Building materials could be things that are made out of glass, crystal, light bulbs, wood. But all the electricity doesn't come from any of those things. That's just the building materials to sustain the house. The electricity comes from someplace else, and it passes through the house, lights up the light, makes all things work in the house, and the house looks like it's an alive house. But the building materials do not produce the electricity to make the house alive. So in a similar fashion, I'm trying to make you understand how life is flowing through us. We don't hold it back. We don't control it. God bestowing that gift of life upon us. And so in the process of flowing to us, there's a lot of things that can interfere with that. It's just like certain materials can short circuit an electricity passage, and then the electricity doesn't get somewhere. The same with the body. If the body does not have all the necessary components to be able for this energy to flow freely, then obstruction is in the way, and that's when you feel weak. And so one of the things that happens when you're fasting is that all the trash and all the toxins that have been accumulated is coming out. So as it's going through your system, you feel all this weirdness going on through your body. You might feel a headache, my little pain in the back for a short while. Different things that manifest themselves. That is if you never fasted before. But don't need to fear. The worse you're getting as you're fasting, that means the more toxins are coming out of your body. That means the better you're going to get. And the better your body gather more strength because it's removing all of the obstacles. All those things that were an obstruction for the life flow. To move into a body that's free of toxins. And so all these things, you have to keep in mind as you do the fast. But once you begin to fast for a while, you begin to see that the body is really, God, when He created this body, it's very economical. He doesn't need that much. You give it the right things that are found in fruits and vegetables, in the raw fruits and vegetables, and man, you get to do so many things, but then you have so much energy left over, you don't know what to do with it. Like I'm doing I work 40 hours a week. I do my hour and a half walking with my son. And then I usually stay up here late at night because now I added a Facebook page and I'm trying to put all my materials there. Pictures from my old students that I used to teach to. Because there's so much energy left. I just don't know what to do with myself. So I just engage in more things to do here. And almost at the end of the day, I almost got closing like 11 o'clock right now, and I'm doing this right now. I had to stop what I was doing in Facebook to get to this. But it's almost the end of the day for me, and it's like 11 right now, and I'm gonna have to get up around 5:30 to go pick up my son and take him to school. Walking, that is. I go walking to his house, pick him to school, and come back walking to my own house. And it takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes. But the energy is there now. After 24 hours. I said 24 days of fasting today. To be able to have this energy more than before, more than when I started. And so it's fantastic. So it's very encouraging. And I just thought I'd mention this because I was able to get into this shirt that was, this is a size small shirt. Okay. And it was very tight, like my stomach was like that. It's about in the middle of December, and now it's, kind of loosey like that, and size 28. It's just very encouraging, and so you will never know. You follow God's diet of eating what He made for you to do, You gotta eat from the kitchen, from this what I call the sun-baked kitchen. That's the kitchen that God uses. When the trees put their apples, their grapes, and all those things out there, that's God's cooked meal. They were cooked by photosynthesis, and when they come out, and they're ready and ripe, I mean they're fully cooked. So God has cooked them already. They're ready for you to eat. So eat the food that God has cooked by photosynthesis. Eat from the sun garden, from the sun kitchen garden. Just eat from that. And now when you go and cook things that already have been cooked by God, you are overcooking them. And you make them lose their value. And you make them lose their minerals and everything that He has to give to your body. You just go down, into whatever oil, into whatever things you are adding to it. So it just doesn't, you lose everything. So in the end, you just go for the taste of it, and then you're not getting any food into your body, because the real food of your body are those tiny little minerals that should be in there. And your intestine know how to suck all the little minerals out of it, and to take them to all the different bodies, because we are made of microscopic parts, mineral parts, and the DNA knows how to sort them out. But once you go and cook the food, that's overcooking them already. So don't go overcook what God has cooked already. God cooks it very perfectly. Once they ripen, they're cooked by God. And so eating cooked by God like that. God knows how to cook well. You don't need to overcook Him to make Him better. So that's what has happened. We just are falling for taste and this and taste and that, and not getting any food into your body. So there's a way in which you can eat a lot of things and you're still starving. Because starvation comes from not giving to the body the nutrients and minerals that it needs. So if you eat all the junk food in the world, but there's no minerals and nutrients in it, your body's still starving. You're going to have to, as you read it, you'll understand that the reason why people get fat is because the body's starving. Is everything that you're putting in is promising the body, I'm bringing real nutrients. And then those things that go in, they're not delivering. So the body holds on to this thing until the day they deliver the nutrients that they promised to bring in. And so it holds on to that thing, conversely they're waiting for it to deliver the things but they were not there. So that's why when you begin to eat the right foods and the nutrients begin to come in, then the body begins to get rid of all the unnecessary, food that was promised, that was bringing nutrients, and it wasn't doing it, because now it's getting it and it's getting rid of what is a need. So it's just as simple as that. Most people are fat because the body's starving for real food. The real food are the new nutrients, the tiny microscopic minerals. All those minerals that are in the table of elements, all of them need to be in the chelated forms. That's in the liquid form that the plants give it to us. Once those things are taken and digested by us, then the body gets all the nutrients that it needs, and then it just begins to shed all the excess pounds of stored meat that was promising, of stored meals that were promising to deliver certain nutrients, and the body was waiting on them to deliver, and they never did. So starvation is not giving to the body the real nutrients that it needs. So you gotta understand, a lot of people are fat, but they're starving. The body's starving. That's why their immune system is not powerful. Most people have to be vaccinated. There's so many vaccines nowadays, and they gotta depend, on the different industries, to take care of them. My only doctor to me is knowledge, because the word doctor means you're a knowledgeable one. You know something. You're the maximum teacher. I mean, you have trained yourself and you become an expert. That's why the misuse of the word doctor. Like we are accustomed to use the word doctor for people that do the medicine field, but also people that they become experts in an area. Like there's a doctor in philosophy. There's doctors in different things. To get a doctorate means you have become very knowledgeable in an area. So a doctor is a teacher. So what a doctor you recommend is you teach you something that you can apply to your own life and do it for the rest of your life. Without having to go back to him, because now he has put the teacher in you. He has given you the knowledge. That's why you know, I am no doctor from your university, but I read enough books so that when I say something, I tell you which book I got this idea from, and I mention the author. I'm not promoting anybody here. Nobody has paid me to promote anything. This is something I do because, you know, I just can't contain myself. God has been so gracious to me, and you know, and I feel that there's so much to be found in Him. I cannot keep it to myself. I have to share it with the world. You know, there's so much power in Him. There's so much love. There's so much energy. There's so much of everything in Him that I just can't contain myself. So I have to express it. So I feel, you know, I have to find a channel, you know, by way of expressing all these things that He has put in me, all these ideas that are not for me. They're for everybody that, you know, God wants them to hear Him and receive comfort by it and receive understanding and be able to be encouraged to follow the, you know, to follow what they need to do. So, but that's one thing we need to understand, therefore, that you need to trust in knowledge to guide you the right way. Okay? So that's why I read and I learn to take care of all of this in a natural way, without any medication of any kind. So at this point in my life, I do not owe anything. I do not own, I'm saying, I don't own a house. I don't own a car. You know, I begin to experience the freedom of just being in God's creation and being the steward of all His things. You're looking at all things, they belong to my Maker, and I want nothing to do with having them, because they're precious things that He created, and only He knows how to take care of them. If He gives me the power and teach me how to take care of some of the things He has made, you know, then I'll be able to participate in the joy of